Hey guys, it's been a really long time since the last time we chatted. Okay, I know, we don't really chat. I talk, you listen, you're probably bored, but that's just how we do things in my class. So tonight's lesson is about converting metric units. Remember there are two systems, and we use both in the United States. We have the customary system. This is that little clever story about the king, okay? And the way to remember is the king. He has that k sound, just like customary. And the king, he wanted to make a bed for his queen, but the bed was too small because it was measured in the little bed maker's feet, and it was too small. So the customary system, if we list the items in order from greatest to least, this is where we get that cute little chart I gave you guys the other day. We would put miles, and then what comes next? That's right, yards. Okay, then you have feet. The pen's not working too great tonight. And inches. And remember that when we go from larger to smaller, and we go in this direction, we are always going to multiply times and times. And if we're going the opposite direction from something smaller to something larger, we need to divide, or opposite operation. So if you can remember putting them in order, then you'll remember the direction in which you multiply and divide. And then what goes in here are the actual numbers that you are going to multiply and divide by. It was 1760. That's convenient. And 3 and 12. That's not convenient at all. So tonight we're doing the metric system, which we use in science a lot. And you're going to like that one much better. All right, so our metric system, we kind of went over it yesterday. Or the day before that, where we were trying to have equivalent or close to measures because we're very custom to the customary system. We're used to inches and feet. We kind of know how big those are, but then when we talk about the metric system, you guys are like, I don't know what that is. So let's just review that really quick. Kilometers. Okay, kilometers. This is spelled like this, so you guys can see the word. Kilometers is really large, and it's about the equivalent of miles in the customary system. Then you have next would be meters that you're going to be talking about. Okay, and those are going to be pretty close to, if you remember, yards. All right, and then you're going to have centimeters, and I'll spell it going this way, centimeter, like this. All right, and those were the size of, remember, the pinky. Pinky, I think that's how you spell pinky finger. And then you have millimeters. And that was the size of the width of a penny. You guys remember that? So if I put this in order just like I do the other system, from the greatest to the smallest, you're going to see here that it's really, really nice because we're either going to multiply by 10 or we're going to divide by 10. There's two ways to do it, but the easiest way is actually to move a decimal. I know. Introducing the decimal again. All right, so in order to remember the order in which they go, there's a funny saying, and this is something that you're going to want to have in your notes and on your reference sheet too. Okay, so here is our funny, goofy saying to remember the order in which all of the units for the metric system go. You have King Hector died miserably drinking chocolate milk. All right, so now here's how it goes. Over here to the far left, we're starting with our largest, which would be the kilo. Okay, so that would be like a prefix, and then we would have two words here. So this might be meter, this might be gram, and this might be liter. And then you're going to have one of these, all of these are at the top here, prefixes. So then you have hecto, you have deca. This is your basic unit, so this is your starting point here. So this is where the M in meters comes, but that's what this is right here. Okay, meter, gram, or liter are going to be the three things that go there. And then you have deci, and then you have centi, and then you finally have milli. All right? And so these prefixes that are here in the red would go before. So you might have, say, kilometer, okay, which is something really large, or kilogram, or you could have any of these, kilo or kiloliter. All right, so let's erase it. You could also have centa, centimeter, centigram, centiliter. Or you could have milli, millimeter, milligram, milliliter. Now I will put a check mark by the ones that you're going to be used most often. Centimeter, or centi, milli, and kilo. And then you'll have your base unit. This is your base unit here. So those are going to be the 4 main ones you're going to deal with. Now, look what I do in orange here. As I'm going from larger to smaller, just like I did with my other system, when you go this direction with the orange arrows, do you remember what we did when we went the direction of that one? We multiply. We multiply, 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 multiply. So I will do in green going the other direction. So if I'm going from smaller to larger, I do exactly the same thing as I did with the customary system. I'm going to divide. Okay? Now the cool thing is all the numbers that you're going to divide by or multiply by are the number 10. So in blue, I'll put that in between. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So let's see. Say I want to go from kilometers, and I have 1 kilometer, and I want to go to meters. Notice I'm going to go here from kilometers. I want to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 10 times 10 times 10. And when I do that, I'm going to get 1,000 meters. So there are, in 1 kilogram, 100 meters. We're going to do some more examples here because this is really messy. So I'm going to clean it up for you a little bit. But all you need to do is look for the beginning, the prefix for both things. Now this one doesn't have a prefix, so therefore it's the base, which starts right here. And then that's where you want to go. All right, let me clean this up and then I'll come back. Okay, I have my chart here, and let's do a couple problems. Say, for instance, I want to go from, I have 10 meters, okay, and I want to go to find out how many millimeters 10 meters equals. So what you're going to do, now follow my gray, is that you're going to start out right here. This is where meter starts. Notice there's no prefix. All of the other numbers or letters up here are prefix except the one in the box. So that's our start. So we're starting at the gray arrow. I need to get to here because this is where millimeters is. So I'm going to count, and notice the direction I'm going. I'm going to go 1 place, 2 places, 3 places. And because I was going that way, I'm going to multiply. So every time I stop or have one of these little things here, these are the 10 marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 10 meters that I started out with. I'm going to multiply it. That came from here. I'm going to multiply it times the first hump. There's 10 right here. So that's 10 times the second hump, which is 10, times the third hump, which is 10. If I multiply all that together, I'm going to get 1 like this, and it's going to be 10,000 millimeters, those little bitty size of the side of a penny. 10,000 of those put together, 10,000 pennies put together is going to equal 10 meters. All right? Another way you can do this, which is the cheater. So I got to do here, right here. Cheater alert. Here's my cheater alert. I think you're going to like this alert, though. All right, cheater alert. If you start off with your original number, here's our original number, 10 meters. Where's the decimal on that number? That's right, it's right here. Okay? Because I'm moving this direction, and I need to go 3 spaces to get to millimeters, remember, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to take my decimal, I'm going to move it 3 humps. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Where there's nothing, there's like loops but no numbers, I'm going to put zeros. Okay? So now we just add our new prefix on the end, and the 10 meters that we started off with right here became 10,000 millimeters by simply moving the decimal the number of places you need to go to end up at millimeters. Okay, another example. Okay, my new problem is I have 4 centimeters. Whoopsie, got the eraser on. It's 4 centimeters. I want to know how many millimeters that is. So watch my arrow. Here is where I'm starting. I'm starting at centimeters. See how I have this prefix right here? I go to the same prefix on my little map here, or my chart. So I'm at centimeters, which is right here. You guys see I'm drawing a thicker arrow. And I want to just go over simply to millimeters. So how many do I need to, what do I need to multiply 4 times? 4 comes from there. I'm going to multiply it by what? Only 110, because that's only one space that I went. So the answer here is 40 millimeters. And you knew this because you guys measured yesterday, remember? On the ruler. Here's the cheat. I have the number 4. Where's my decimal? If it's not shown, then it's right here. Okay? I'm going to move it over how many spaces? Only 1 needed to get to millimeters. So now, where there's a hump, I'm going to do this. So my final answer should be written as 40 millimeters. Okay, you guys are like, oh yeah, that's a super easy. But it's easy even if you want to go the other direction. Let me give you an example where we're having to divide. Okay, whoo, this is a big one. 5 million milliliters. Millimeters, sorry, not milliliters, millimeters. Look for the prefix. It's right here. So therefore I'm going to start right there. Okay, and I need to get all the way down to here. Okay, so I'm going to count. I'm going to divide by 10, then divide by 10, then divide by 10, and divide by 10, and divide by 10, and divide by 10. Alright, so I'm going to take 5 million and divide by 10. I got to do this 6 times. Okay, if I divide by 10, 0 knocks out a 0, so now I'm at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that, divide by 10. When I do, 0 knocks out a 0, so now I'm at this. I'm at 50,000. Right? Yeah. Divide by 10, because I've got to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done it twice. Divide by 10 is going to knock off a 0, knock off a 0, and I'm going to get 5,000. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 10. So I took care of this one, and this one, and this one. Now I'm going to divide by 10. That's going to knock out a 0, knock out a 0, give me 500. So that's that one. I'm going to divide that by 10. That's this one. I'm going to get 50 divided by 10. And finally end up with the answer of 5, because that takes care of this one. So 5 million millimeters is equal to 5 kilometers. Alright, are you ready for the cheater? Start over with the original number, 5 million. Okay, where's the decimal? Exactly, it's right there. So I need to move it how many spaces? Well, if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's right there. And if any zeros after the decimal point can be dropped off. So the answer is 5, or 5.0, or 5 with all the zeros, but the decimal goes right here, meaning 5. So 5 kilometers is our answer. Okay? A couple more real quick ones. Okay, here's 2 quick examples. Let's start with this first one. I'm going to do it, I guess I'll do it in blue so you can see. Okay, here it is in blue. I got 12.3 meters. That means I start right here. Okay, and I need to move over to centimeters, which is right here. So I need to count how many humps do I need to go. 1, 2. If I start here, I'm going to do the cheater. If I start here and I move it over 1, 2, okay, remember I'm going to put a 0 right here. My answer is 1, 2, 3, 0 centimeters. And that's all you have to do. And okay, now let's do this one. This one's in red. I'm at meters right here. I need to get to kilometers, which is way over here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Notice that my decimal goes in the same direction as my arrow does because I'm going this way. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3. It's going to go right there. So if I were to write that new number, it's 1.234. Okay, I believe this video is long enough. So go ahead and take the notes, and then what I'd like you to do is answer the questions. Thanks for listening.